Hello everybody, welcome to our video lesson for today, which is Thursday, May the 7th. We are gonna start out with reading today. Make sure you watch Miss Sun's phonics lesson she's making for you guys, but we're gonna start with reading here. All right, so today we are gonna read a book called Ant and Grasshopper. It says it's written by Micah Lynn Sokoloff and illustrated, remember that's the person who draws the pictures, by Linda Silvestri. Ant and Grasshopper is the name of it. All right, so let's take a look at this cover. Let's take our sneak peek. Let's look at what's on this front cover. I see some corn right here. I see something down here that looks like it might be wheat. And then I also see, this looks like some kind of instrument, maybe a violin. And if it's leaning up against this corn, that's got to be a pretty small violin, right? So maybe it belongs to the ant or the grasshopper since it's so small. Let's see. And when we're reading our book today, we're going to think about how the characters in our book, how they're alike, how they're the same, and how they're different. So while we're reading, be thinking about how these two are the same and how these two characters are different. Here we go. One summer day, Ant was hard at work. He was busy gathering food for winter. Here's Ant. He's carrying that corn. It says he's gathering it for winter. Ant stopped to rest in the green grass. So here he is resting. He's pouring himself, looks like some coffee. And then here's someone else. I wonder if this could be Grasshopper. I see that violin just like we saw on the front. You make nice music, said Ant. Come dance a jig while I play my fiddle, said Grasshopper. Okay, so it's a fiddle. Ant said, I must get back to work. I am gathering food for the winter. Fiddlesticks, said Grasshopper. It's a grand summer day. There will be time for work later. So Ant wants to get back to work, and Grasshopper says, you can do that later. In fall, okay, so it was summer, now it's fall. Ant gathered grain in the golden fields. So here he is with that grain. Grasshopper played his fiddle. He's still here playing his fiddle. I haven't seen him get any food for winter. Ant's over here getting all this food. Soon, snow began to fly. Well, maybe it's starting to become winter now. Ant was snug in his house. He had plenty of food for winter. Grasshopper hobbled by. He did not play his fiddle. All right, so here's Ant. He's curled up on his chair. He's reading, got his slippers on. He looks pretty comfortable. If you look out the window here, you can see Grasshopper. Oh, he's got a scarf on. He looks like he's maybe shivering. He's kind of cold. He does not look happy. Ant called, why are you out on this cold gray day? All right, so now it's winter. I'm looking for food, said Grasshopper. He has no food. Ant said, you won't find food in winter. Come inside and warm up. Eat some soup. So Grasshopper played his fiddle that whole time. He didn't get any food for winter. Thank you, said Grasshopper. You're very kind. Ant replied, You're welcome, but next spring you must work before you fiddle away your days. I promise, said Grasshopper. Now let me do something for you. Grasshopper played his fiddle for Ant. Ant smiled and did a little jig. The end. So let's think of some ways that Ant and Grasshopper were the same and how they were different. So they were the same or alike. They were both bugs. They both needed food for winter. And they both got to eat at the end of our story. So there are 3 ways they're the same. So when you are doing this paper on a separate piece of paper, you're going to tell me how they're the same. And we just came up with 3 reasons why they're the same. You just have to give me 1 reason. So together, we're going to say how they're different. Let's see. So how are they different? In that whole book, I saw Ant and Grasshopper doing 2 very different things on each page. I saw Ant gathering food for winter a lot in that book. He gathered corn, he gathered wheat or grain, all to save up for winter. And while he was doing that, I saw Grasshopper just playing his fiddle the whole time. That's why he didn't have any food when it was winter time, right? So I'm gonna say they're different because Ant worked hard, right? It's probably hard work to gather that food. Gather food for winter. So Ant worked hard to gather food for winter, but what did Grasshopper do? We said he just played his fiddle the whole time, right? So I'm gonna say Grasshopper played his fiddle instead of gathering food. All right, so you don't have to draw pictures of the 2. You can if you want to. But you are gonna give me 1 way that both of these characters are alike. So we said they're both bugs. They both need food for winter. See if you can think of 1 reason why they're both alike, and you're gonna write that on a separate piece of paper. All right, now we're moving on to math. So we've been focusing on adding and subtracting tens. So today we're gonna do some adding, but instead of just adding tens, we're gonna add tens and ones. So let's get our 2 numbers that we're gonna add here. So we're gonna add 34. We are gonna add 12. We're gonna add them together. All right, so I have 34 plus 12. All right, 34 plus 12. So I'm gonna go, start at the last column, go from top to bottom. 4 plus 2 more, that's 6. Now let's go over here. 3 plus 1 more, that's 4. So my answer is 46. All right, so now let's use some cubes to figure this out. So we know that each of these is a tower of 10. So each of these is a group of 10. So let's make 34. It says I have 3 groups of 10. So 1, 2, 3. And we know that each of these is just 1. It says I have 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's 34. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. All right, now let's make 12. And it says I have one group of 10s here. So I just need one of these. And it says I have 2 ones. So I need 1, 2. 10, 11, 12. All right, so now we want to count them and add them together. So I'm going to count my 10s first. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I need to count my ones. So I'm at 40. Now I'm going to start counting the ones. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. And I get the same answer that I got when I added them like this. All right, let's try another one. All right, let's try another. It's giving me 17. And I'm going to add 32. 17 and 32. All right, I got my 17 plus 32. I start at the last column. I go top to bottom. 7 plus 2 more. That's 9. Remember, you can use your fingers to help you. 1 plus 3 more. Well, 3 plus 1 was 4. 1 plus 3, that's got to be 4 also. So I got 49. All right, now let's try using cubes and see if we get the same number. All right, so I need to do 17 first. So see, it shows me I have one group of 10, so I need one of these. Because one of these is 10, right? And it says I have 7 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, there's 17. Now I need to do 32. So it says I have 3 groups of 10. So I need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And it says I have 2 ones. So 1, 2. Now I need to count them and add them together. So just like last time, we're going to count the 10s first. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now we need to count the ones. Remember, we're at 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And that is the same answer I get when I added them like this. All right, so now I'm going to use a hundreds chart to add those numbers together. So let's see, I'm going to think of 2 numbers. I'm going to add 16, and I'm going to add 32 to that. So 16 plus 32. All right, so I'm going to start with my top number, 16. So let's find that on our hundreds chart. Here I am, 16. And remember last time when we went up and down to add our 10s? We went down to add 10s and up to subtract them. Well, let's see how many groups of 10s I'm adding. I'm adding 3 groups of 10. So that means I need to go down 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm at 46. So I could end here, but I didn't add, I only added the 3 groups of 10. I didn't add these 2 ones yet. So I'm at 46. I started at 16. We went down 3 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3. Now I need to add my 2 ones. And when we add ones, just like when we're adding them in the classroom using our hundreds chart, we go this way, right? We go to the right. So I'm at 46. I need to go right 2 spaces for 2 ones. 46, so here I go. 1, 2. Now I'm at 48. So let's add these together and see if we get the same answer. All right, we start at the last column, top to bottom. 6 plus 2, that's 8. 1 plus 3, we just did that. That's 4. 48, that is the same number I got when I used my hundreds chart. Let's try one more. All right, this time I'm going to start with 52. And I'm going to add 14 to that. 52 plus 14. So I need to start at 52. There we go, 52. And it says I'm going to add 1 group of 10s. So I need to go down 1 space. There we go, here's 1. I can stop at 62, but I haven't added those 4 ones yet. So I need to keep going. We're at 62. It says I need to go to the right 4 spaces. 62, go to the right 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me to 66. Let's add them together and see if we get the same number. Start at the last column. 2 plus 4, that's 6. 5 plus 1 more, that's 6. 66, that's the same number we got when we used our hundreds chart. All right, so you've got some problems just like these for your math assignment. So I'm gonna put a hundreds chart on our assignment, just like we have been the last 2 days, and you can use that. You can write them down and add them just like we did. Go start at the last column and go top to bottom. If you have maybe if you have like some Cheerios, and maybe you have some buttons or anything, or maybe you have popcorn or any kind of cereal laying around, you can use lots of things to add them that way. I think I like using the hundreds chart. I think that's a really good way to do it, but you add them however you want. Make sure you're adding the 10s and the 1s separately. All right, so you guys get started on your assignments. I will see you next week. I miss you guys. I can't believe we're already in May. All right, bye-bye.